Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Engineering Bart Show. How is everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. We're actually doing quite well. Channel's doing fine. It's a little light on subscribe. We got 10 the other day, and now we're working on 100 subscribers. So keep up the good work, and let me know if you see something funny. Go ahead and put a comment down. There's nothing wrong with putting a comment down. I would love to hear your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. Okay, here we go. So our next is how to input a data by terminal. How to input a numerical data by console into the embedded system so it returns a calculated value. So there are many ways of doing it. You could use Teraterm, PuTTY, and use the Embed Studio Serial Monitor. I'm going to use the Embed Studio Serial Monitor. If anyone knows how to use the Teraterm or PuTTY, hey, I would love to see it because I've tried and it's kind of challenging. Okay, the materials needed is we need the computer. We need a computer and Embed. That is not one that I use, but that is one that's compatible with this operating system. So like I said, there's all kinds of products you can use. So this is a very universal IDE. So good. That's all we need is just two stuff. So that's all we need. The engineering manager says in this project, the volume of the cylinder is calculated and displayed on the PC screen. We're going to calculate a cylinder. So we need some parameters in there. And we must have rules. So here are the rules when we make this program. 1, we must have a home screen that displays a title, volume of a tank. Okay. The second rule, you must have a computer ask for the radius, and then the user enters the number in a decimal form, like 3.5 or 5.6 or something like that. That's what I mean by decimal. The computer will ask for the height, okay, and then enters the number as a decimal, and then must return the volume as it clearly stated. So it's going to calculate and all that. I do this. This is very code etiquette. When I was going to school, a lot of professors didn't do this. They would just input a bunch of data and stuff spit out, and you're expected to know what that was. I don't find that very considerate. So this is why it put it down. And if they do that, it's considered to be shitty coding. Okay, here we go. Let's stop the video design code and build the project. Okay, so these are for people that don't want any further instructions. They just know what to do, and so these are guys that want to challenge themselves. So I call these the intellectuals. Now us learners, including myself, we got to memorize codes. There's an unhappy face. Yeah, memorizing is hard. I've memorized stuff all of my life, and they're very hard. I've taken classes where you got to memorize periodic tables, the whole thing. Memorize what the trig circle. I mean, there's a lot of memorization. So yes, we have to do it, and we may not understand why we're doing it, but we have to do it. So here's the first code that you have to memorize. So the Nucleus 64 series does not willingly display floats or values. So in there, we're going to have to create a file. It's a .json file. And this is the code you have to put in exactly. You got to put this bracket right here, target overrides with the bracket right here, with the star right here, platform minimal, enable printf floating value. This code will enable the float to appear at the console. Do I know how they got that? I have no idea. I had to look that up on the internet. So the next one we have to remember. I guess you could copy and paste it from code. I mean, I do that too, but it's good to remember. Okay, this is called the clear screen. Okay, this is what this does. Instead of having all the values float down, which it'd be if you don't, it just keeps going. So what we want to do is clear the screen so we can enter the value. So this is a char clear screen 0x1b. That's a hexadecimal code. I think that is where the cursor is located. I'm not quite sure. J2 means clear the screen, and then you got to put printf this percent sign s because it's a string, but it's more of a character, but it's characterized as a string, and clear screen right here. So a lot of the old codes have been deprecated, so this is the way you do it. If you do it the other way, it might not get the value. So this is the research on the internet. I too can explain it, but you have to memorize it. Next is the home screen, the void home screen, char home screen, and got to do the same thing. There's the hexadecimal code, and H means home screen. That's all I know. And there's printf, and then just this stuff to get the home screen to basically appear up. Okay. Now let's go ahead to use printf. So not everyone comes from a C background. I get that. Some come from Java or Python or something like that. This is C++. This is just whatever. This is what they use. Okay, so when you use the printf, you must put printf and then these brackets right here. Then in quotes, you must put down whatever you want to put down, like Engineering Bard Show is awesome. Yes, okay, that's a normal statement. The next one is printf in quotes. Is it backslash? Yeah, backslash n backslash r in quotes. So what that says is the carriage, the next line, then return. So it does the next line and then returns it to the screen again. Now, those are pretty important, otherwise it might stop. So I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so then we want to use scanf. This is the new one. So if you want to enter a data, now you enter the data through the console. I'll show you that through the code talk. You have to enter it a special way, but it's not that hard to do. So example is printf, enter the radius. Okay, so I got that in quotes. All right there. And then the next line is the scanf. It's a %f. That means capture the float and radius. So that's just code saying put in the radius for the float. That's assuming that we declared that as radius. That's going up above. Okay, so that should give you guys enough data there. I know that's may not be everything, but let's go ahead. Let's go to the code talk. All right, I'll see you there. All right, now it's time for code talk. So code talk is here. We basically not only do I show you the program it, I'll show you how we'll try to explain what the code means. Or let's call it, I don't know, let's call it cylinder. I've done this one before, so everything has been cylinder Bard Show, I guess. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool, right? Okay, there we go. Ready to go. So before we begin, so make sure it loads up. We have to go to the main. Okay, so you have to wait till it loads it up. We have to go to see the main CPP right here. See how I'm kind of circling that? See how it's blue? Right click. Is it right click? Yeah, right click. Put new file, text file. Okay, and it has to be. This is kind of a delicate right here because it has to be exactly right. Embed app.json. So this is the code for. Okay, now this is the text file right here. We have to add this text file, otherwise you won't see anything. And sometimes I can get this to right the first time, but sometimes you have to tweak it because it's very peculiar. So you have to do target underscore overrides. Okay. Overrides. overrides. And it has to be spelled exactly. So I might have to check my notes. Otherwise, might be a disaster. Okay. Star. Okay. Okay. And then it's, then it's colon right here. Another curly bracket. And then it's platform dot minimal, and then you got to put this thing right here. I think it's, let me check out my notes real quick. Print F, and then enable, another minus sign, floating. Everything has to be spelled right. Floating. And then it's point. Okay. This is exclusive here, so just want to let you guys know I work hard to, everything has to be aligned correctly. Otherwise, all bets are off. Target overrides. Okay, that's spelled right. Okay. Hit the save button. Okay. All right. That's very important. Now, what we're going to do here is do the Java commenting system. So okay. Today we're going to design a cylinder. Okay. Design a cylinder. I think that's spelled wrong, but cylinder. It's all right. By entering some values. So this is actually, it's your little, okay. So, all right. We don't really need a USB serial, I don't think. Not here. But we do need a void, clear screen. Okay. And then basically inside the void is the char clear SCR, and that is an array. That is basically a hexadecimal of 10x1b. Okay, and then you have to do this funky. Oops, that's supposed to be a comma. That's why it gave me a big. And then you got to do the bracket here. This means cursor, I think. Then a comma, and then it's 2 right here. And then, okay. Then it's a capital J. Make sure it's capitalized. It will know the difference. It'd be like, that's not a J, even though it is a J, you know what I mean? Then we do printf. Printf. It already kind of knows that the console is the object. So, but you have to put these quotes right here. %s. And then outside the quotes, you want clear SCR. Okay. Then you go to the next. I think they call functions. I think they're called functions. You can call them methods if you want to. It doesn't matter. But who knows? But home screen, bracket, and kind of do the same thing. Home screen, Okay, equals, it's almost the same thing, OX1B, comma, and then we got to put a bracket right here. Okay, bracket. I do think it's H. I do believe it's H. Yep. H. And then, okay. And then we want 0, okay, semicolon, and printf, almost the same thing. Okay. Now, the code that I showed you before, and like if you're using a different embedded system, you might not have to do that app.json. It might just, the floats may just appear, and that's great. But sometimes, I had to do some research to find that out, because this little project wouldn't work. And if you can't see the floats, that really sucks. So, home screen. Actually, let's just call this SCR, just so we don't confuse us. Let's just call it this. There you go. That makes sense, right? Let's capitalize that. Okay, SCR. Okay. So these are the home screen. This is the home screen. These are very important to make sure the cursor doesn't just head down below, so you can find it. Okay, now, since there is a function, let's go ahead and make it kind of fancy-dancy. Oh. Okay. I wrote this a long time ago, so this is actually my own code right here. So I'm allowed to look at it. Float volume, okay. But inside the volume, oh yeah, that's right, is float height, okay, and float radius. So this is always sort of a good practice, as I recall, as someone told me, to make a function where that's supposed to be, which is, this is it. This is a function. Put it outside the main. And so what this does is just makes things a little bit more nicer, and it kind of makes things a little bit more organized. So these float, and then volume, so we declared float as a volume, equals, oh, that's right. Let's go ahead and define pi. Hashtag define, hashtag define pi as 3.14, is it like, I don't know, 269, something like that. Anyways, I always remember it's 3.14, and that's good enough. Okay, so then, all right. Okay, let's capitalize it. That's how I did it. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, and it's pi times radius. Okay. So radius. Oops. That's right. We want to do what's in the parentheses first, right? Okay. Times height. Semicolon. Okay. Now, notice notice that it's not a void anymore. So that means it has to return something. So we want to return volume. And that's going to give you a number. Okay. So that's okay. Now, all right, what are we doing next? Okay, let's go ahead and declare it inside the main. And after this, it should be sort of, kind of, you guys should be able to just run with your code. You know, you don't have to wait for me now. You know, if you got it, go ahead and do it. You know. Radius, but if you don't, just watch the show then. Print F. Print F. Okay. Okay, we must return. We got to go. So it's N/R, and then we're going to do capitalize volume of a cylinder. Okay, yes. Watch out for the old cylinder. Okay. Print F. We're going to add a little bit of garnish here because we're okay. Oops. Here's some garnish. There. Okay. And then right here. And then we're going to leave a space. Print F. This just kind of makes it look better. You know what I mean? Sometimes it gets all squishy if you don't. So, okay. There we go. So now we ask the user. Why? Because we're cool like that. And then we do that scanf. That's the new thing. And then it's scanf. Okay, that's that percent float comma radius. Or no, it's that ampersand or and sign, whatever the heck it is. Radius. Okay. Okay. And we ask again. Print F. Boy. Enter. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Okay. That's right. I'm looking at my old code notes. I did this because I wanted to see it. That's right. Okay. So, and now what we want to do is print F, because you're not going to be able to see it. It's not quite as advanced as a lot of other IDEs. So you're going to have to, I do this so I can see what I put in. This has to go below it. Okay, there we go. All right, we're moving along. One little hunt and peck at the same time. You notice it's not in the while loop. Yeah, just keep in mind that, because all we want to do is put it in and then crank it out. So it's all in the main, not in the while loop. Okay, enter. Okay. Now we want the height. Okay. And speaking to the camera and typing at the same time it's kind of a challenge, because it's kind of like this object's in my way and I can't really. Okay. Oops. Enter in the height. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to copy and paste this stuff right here because I don't want to type. Copy, paste, and print F is not height, so it's not radius, it's height. Height. And then we want to kind of see what we found. Height. All right. Okay, just about done. Okay, so let's not forget this stuff. Okay, so here we go. Clear screen. Otherwise it won't be enabled. That's crummy. Home screen. Okay, there we go. See? So what that does is, as it goes through the main, it's going to enable this. Go to the clear screen, bam, and enables clear screen, bam, home screen. Once you put it in, once you put everything done, it goes around in a big circle. So, okay, so we're almost done, folks. Now, print F. We always want to make sure /n/r. Say, and the volume, right here, the volume of the cylinder. I can't spell, so I was terrible at those spelling bees when I was a kid, so. Okay, percent 5.2 F. Okay, does everybody understand what I just did? Oh, then that's right. Next line, carriage. So that means we want 5 only, instead of float, we want 5 towards the left, 5 characters towards the left, and 2 characters towards the right, maximum. Otherwise, we could have a ton of data. So that just kind of truncates the data. So it kind of makes sense. So we don't need a 35.6789 to 72445, cubic feet cylinder. We only need we only need like maybe a 35.2 cubic feet cylinder. Percent volume, but don't forget this. We want to enter, oops, did I spell it right? No, I didn't. Volume, okay, and inside here, when we enter the data, we want to put our height, comma, and radius here. This is the magic. This is what makes it cool. Okay, let me think. Did I do it right? Okay, we're checking. I think so. Let me think. Let me go over my notes. Okay, that's it. Let's see if it compiles. All right, there it goes. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, what are we doing? That's it. It's a capital SCR. Okay. Well, why didn't I say that before? Oh, another semicolon. Gee whiz. And radius. Give me a couple warning signs. We'll see how that goes. All right, so far so good. Oh. Hold on, guys. I got to fix something again. I didn't. As soon as it goes, you have to wait. Okay, there it goes. Let it flash. Okay, I'm gonna fix the code again. It won't take that long. Okay. Right here. Let's try it again. There we go. There we go. That's why I was like, well, how come there's squiggle lines? Okay. Let's try it again. Okay. All right. Now we want to do is go to the source monitor. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so enter the radius. I don't know, 15. So 15, enter the height. I don't know, 45. There you have it, folks. 31818. That is the volume of a cylinder. All right. Thank you. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next Engineering Bard Show.